All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us in person and via Zoom for our first ever all-member meeting of the Rowan County Young Professionals. We're going to let Elaine Spalding, who is the president of the Chamber of Commerce, kick us off here, since we are a program of the Chamber of Commerce. So Elaine, take it away.
Thank you, Molly, and thank you for your leadership of the Young Pros. And thanks to the executive committee that are here around the table that help guide and direct the young professionals. I just want to say thank you to you guys, everybody, our Zoomies and our Roomies. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do to help the young professionals. And I am pleased to introduce, if you have not yet met, Sydney Murphy, our newest team member with the Rowan Chamber. She's our membership and marketing manager, and she just happens to be a young professional. So let's welcome her. Would you like to say anything else to the group?
I'm excited to get to know all of you, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully I can start coming to some events when I'm back in Salisbury. I'm currently in Charlotte, but be back in like September-ish. So, hey, excited.
Great. Yes, and Sydney is one of the target groups that the Rowan EDC has for the talent attraction. She is a boomerang. She's originally from Rowan County, but then went to UNC Chapel Hill to get her degree and has worked in healthcare, professional marketing, and we're really, really glad to have her on board here with the Rowan Chamber. That's all I have.
Okay, great. Kyler, can you watch this one? Okay, well, we're really happy to have you on board too. We miss Erica, but we know that you are gonna fill her shoes and probably outgrow her shoes. So we're very happy to have you here. So we wanted to give an introduction of all of our executive committee members. And then I also want to recognize in the room anybody that is an active committee member who's present here today. So I'll start first. I'm Molly Roof. I'm the chair of the Young Professionals. And my term will be ending at the end of this calendar year. Nikki, you want to take it off?
Hi there, everyone. I am Nikki Black. I'm the vice chair of the Young Pros, and I will resume as chair in January.
Dylan Brewer, I'm the development chair. I do all things fundraising and event sponsorships. So anytime we have a new event or any type of opportunities for sponsorships, I handle that.
And my last.
No, you can go next.
I'm Tyler Eagle. I'm the events committee chair. I serve on the executive committee. What am I supposed to say?
Yep, great.
Sweet.
Oh, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Devlin. I am a member at large and have been helping with our governance documents.
And what do you do in real life?
Oh, in real life, I work at Rowan Cabarrus College.
Oh, in real life, I work at Palace Satan Funeral Home, so sorry.
We missed that with you guys.
Do we want to have Michelle, you want to go next?
Sure. Oh, yeah, where did you go? I'm Michelle Gannon. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Outreach and Membership Committee, and I own Ruthie Darling Around the Corner.
Awesome. And her other co-chair, Sherry Hill, couldn't be here tonight. And Vincia, who is playing our hostess and letting people into the building, she is another at-large member. And then we have a couple committee members who are here. So Charlotte, do you want to just go and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm part of the events committee.
Perfect. And she just got a new job, so bravo to Charlotte.
Yeah, I'll be here for a week with DHL, so.
Sweet.
Hi, I'm Kendall Henderson. I'm with the Rowan Economic Development Council, and I'm currently on the events chair.
Yep, chair. And Brittany?
Oh, I'm Brittany Callahan. I'm on the membership committee with Michelle, and I work at MSC Industrial Supplies.
Perfect. And then let's see, Kristen, you're on a committee, aren't you?
Yes. Hi, I'm Kristen. I am on the events committee and I am the project director at Wise Up Rowan.
Perfect. All right. So just wanted to, you guys put faces to names. So another thing we wanted to just tee up is a little bit of history. It's a very vague, mysterious history, but the more recent history. So the Young Professionals Program in its official capacity is new. And I think a lot of people don't know that. They think that we've been around for a really long time in an official capacity, which is not really true. So over the past probably 30 years, there's been little, pop-ups of young professional meetups and networking events, but never in a real true official capacity. Someone with a passion in the community would start doing it. And they would do it for a while, maybe consistently, maybe not. And they would have some success, but they probably either aged out or something changed in their life. And it never really was like firmly rooted into the ground. So in 2019, that summer, myself and Alyssa, who is the public health director, she and I came up with the idea and she became the public health director. And COVID happened, so she was really busy. Kyler, can you let Brittany in?
Yes.
And so she kind of fell off, so I kind of took it from there. And it was just me doing it for the most part, and then friends who are now on the executive committee helping me when I would call them in a panic, saying, hey, could you help do this or that? So we did not formally become organized until this past year. So in the winter, like January, February of 2023, I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this on my own anymore. Let's form a committee. Yay. And then over the past year, we created a governance document. Thank you to the amazing Sarah Devlin, who is a wizard at anything governance. So just shout out to her. And then we just had a retreat for our executive committee, which we're going to be doing once a year. And we made some amendments and things like that. We're going to review the charter document once a year to make sure that, it's still good and we don't have any changes we want to make. So just trying to keep up with it. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of the history. So we are still a new group, but we are so grateful to the chamber for supporting us and giving us a home, which is really great because we get the credibility from the Chamber of Commerce. It is an added benefit to all of their members who have employees that are young professionals. And it's a way for us to fundraise and seeing the Chamber of Commerce's nonprofit status. So it's a huge, huge asset, and we're super thankful to the chamber and all that they do for us. So does anybody have any quick questions about the history or anything like that?
Somebody in the lobby.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna kick it over to Sarah, and this is her time to shine because like I said, she has done such an amazing job with our charter document. So this document is available on our website. On the chamber's website, rowanchamber.com, there is a page for young professionals, and we almost have like a microsite. So it's rowanchamber.com young-professionals. And you can go there and see all of our leadership team and all of that. And then this is the document. So Sarah's going to kind of just walk us through it, highlight some of it, just for transparency. We want everybody to feel like they have a stake and they're involved, and you can see the pathway to getting more involved and holding leadership positions.
Awesome. Thank you, Molly. I feel like that was a lot of hype for some governance documents.
You've done a great job.
Typically not super exciting, but it really was such a privilege to be able to put these together. When I joined Young Professionals, I didn't have many friends in Rowan County. This was just such a life-changing group for me. So a lot of the things that you'll see in this document came out of the hearts of the leadership team to try to put some framework and sustainability around what this group seeks to accomplish. So you'll see in this document that our mission is to try to connect young professionals with people and information that they might need to know to be and live successfully in Rowan County. We really want to connect people to other people in their professions, and to professional development opportunities that can really help them grow in their careers so that they can have a great life here. This group is open to people who live or work in Rowan County. So we're kind of a come one, come all, ages 21 through 45 group. The other thing that was really important to us as we created this group in this type of formal way was to make sure that there's a way that we can invest in the next generation of leaders. I think everyone around the executive committee table has really been invested in by other people in the community. And that was something that was really important to us to make sure was a part of our core documents. So as we move through this document, you can see we're just trying to put a little bit of information to make people feel welcome here. So open door policy, there's no charge to be a part of this group. Open to new members ages 21 through 45. Like I said, you can live here, you can work here. If you're involved in Rowan County at all, we would love for you to come and use this group as a way to grow your networks and friendships and leadership skills through all sorts of programming. We do, as Molly said, fall under the Chamber of Commerce. So all of their code of conduct policies that are in place are what we also follow. As Molly said, we have officers in our group, just taking us down through this document. Executive committee officers are in place for 1 2-year term. Those terms turn over at the end of the calendar year on December 31st, and then the new ones begin on January 1st. The executive committee is made up of 4 officers. So that's your chair, vice chair, treasurer, secretary, and then the chairs of the other committees that we will get to in a minute, as well as some members at large, like myself. There are 4 standing committees. The executive committee is one of those. We really stood these up so that we could have some boots on the ground to implement the programming and ideas that we had. So the other committees that we have that you could get involved with are outreach and recruitment to try to help other people like yourself in the community get involved, programming and events to put some fun things together for us to do or learn, and then development to make sure that we have the money that we need to be able to do all these great things. So we can, of course, stand up ad hoc committees if we need to for any types of projects that we are working on. So the executive committee meets at least once per quarter. Right now, we're meeting about once per month, but we guarantee that we'll meet at least once per quarter and operate consistently with the chamber's bylaws. Those meetings are announced in advance, and people can participate in person or virtually in those executive committee meetings. The rest of this is pretty generic of what you would see in a governance document for how these documents can be amended. And then I think the committee chairs are going to sort of go through what their plans are for the future. But I'll just say here that if you'd like to learn more about these committees, this is in this document to see what we're hoping that those committees can accomplish. They all have chairs or co-chairs. So if you're, sort of at home, like I was at one point, very shy without any friends, this is a way that you can get plugged in and involved. If you're already involved in the group and are really looking for that next step, whatever that might look like for you, these committees are a great place. And then the document sort of outlines exactly how you could get more involved and then eventually become, in a leadership position if you would like to. So the last page is just our officer position descriptions. That's mainly because we're trying to make this something that's sustainable. So we have a leadership team that can live on for future members of this group. So I know that was kind of a lot of information really quickly, but I'll be glad to open the floor up for any questions about this document. We've had this document, I think, for, as Molly said, just a little bit over a year, right? Less than
Roughly a year, yeah.
And based on what we've learned over the past year and the things that we saw that we needed, those changes have been incorporated today. So always here if you have any questions. And then I know the committee chairs will talk about their work.
Great. I think the biggest takeaway is that we want this group to be sustainable and live on well past us. We don't want this to be, oh, it was like really popping for a couple of years and then it died on the vine. That would be my nightmare. My worst nightmare is for all this effort that all of these people around this table have done to bring this positivity to this network of young professionals. Like, I would hate for that to just go away. But yeah, anyways, all these documents are on our website, so it's very easy to access, very transparent. And we also have a code of conduct, which I forgot to print, But that is also on the website. And I can pull it up for just a minute. Does anybody have any questions while I try to pull that up? Anyone at all? Any comments?
I'll just add to what y'all said. This is the first time we'll have a leadership transition for young professionals. So that's why we felt it was really important to update the document and make sure it was clear and concise for the future generations that are gonna be leading the group.
So as you can see on the shared screen, this is our leadership page. You can see we have a microsite on the website. So there's drop downs and you can see all that. So here's the charter, a document, which this is the updated PDF. And then we also have a code of conduct for all members. Which let me move this away. So it's pretty basic. I feel like our code of conduct is pretty much the golden rule. Just be polite and respectful, professional representation, positive online presence, try to not contribute to being negative online, bullying, any sort of activity like that. Advocate for our community. We should all be our own best cheerleaders. So just, be a good advocate for Rowan County, so for growth and for supporting all of our municipalities and our businesses. If you have a conflict with someone in our group, be an adult, meet them where they're at. If you need a mediator, reach out to somebody on our executive committee and we will be happy to intervene, but mostly just be an adult, be professional. Follow the law. That's pretty, don't be a criminal. Accountability. So it's pretty basic. But we just thought, in today's age with, everything online and things like that, it would just be nice to have some rough guidelines. And at the end of the day, we are a program of the Chamber of Commerce. So we are at the discretion of their organizational guidelines. Okay, so now we're going to, unless anybody has any questions, no? Okay, we're gonna go into each of our committee reports. So each of our committee chairs and or co-chairs will make a brief presentation. So I'm gonna kick it off to Dylan Brewer, who is our Development Committee Chair.
Thanks, guys. So development really kicked off this past year. Last year, we were very much trying to find the ground underneath us, what we were doing as a group. We've always asked, so one of our biggest ways to raise money was asking for sponsorships for our programming. So when we do Live After 5 or we do our development bites, typically we tried to find a sponsor in the community that would sponsor that program in order to continue to be able to offer free events for everybody, because there is a cost associated with a lot of things we do, but we're able to offset that by either our tiered benefits through the chamber or by doing fundraising or finding sponsors for individual events. The one thing that Molly and the original executive committee or the core group did when we founded this was to make sure that everything we did for the most part was free. Our goal is to feed the Chamber of Commerce, to feed entrepreneurs, to feed future business leaders, future business owners, future, executives for current business owners. We want to feed the next generation of leaders into the chamber and grow the chamber. So the way we do that is to make our events free and to open it up to everybody to come, because the biggest way to turn people away is to say, hey, it's $35 per event or it's $15 per event. People aren't going to come. So we've had some really good sponsors in the past, and we still lean on them a lot. I'm gonna give them a lot of them a shout out real fast. Catawba, Novant, Atrium, RCCC, Clollinger Ford, Toyota, F&M Bank, STL Lounge, all the restaurants locally. I know I'm gonna end up leaving off.
Johnson Concrete.
Johnson Concrete, Powell Staten Funeral. We have a ton of businesses in the community that see the benefits of young professionals and want to invest in our group. But one thing that we've talked about, especially in the last 6 months, is we do not want to become the group that's known as just having our hand out 24/7 and asking for sponsorships or donations. So we want to get creative and figure out ways to have our own signature event that we can raise money for our group and be sustainable. So last year we kicked off our first cornhole tournament. It was not necessarily ran by young professionals. We did it through Cheer City, which is the local Panthers group, but the beneficiary was young professionals. And we raised right at $1,000. This year, Young Professionals is hosting that tournament, and we are going to push it out as a Chamber of Commerce Young Professionals tournament to get more people there instead of just doing a football tournament and the proceeds go to the young professionals. Some things we talked about at our retreat was also adding a porta pit fundraiser. Everyone loves porta pit. It's super easy to run that. You only need 2 or 3 people to actually oversee it, and the porta people actually do it. You just need a lot of people selling tickets. We also talked about, and I've actually already got with Andy about shutting down the parking lot and doing like a sunny day market. They already do a market over here and they shut down the parking lot and do it, but we do one that is the benefits or the proceeds directly benefit young professionals. So it would be a young professional market out here. So there are a couple of different things that we are working on. Those things are designed to make us sustainable. So we do not have to necessarily depend on sponsorship dollars, because the biggest thing, I do that for the dealership, is give out sponsorship dollars. The biggest thing that happens with sponsorship dollars, it rises the economy. So as soon as the economy starts to go down, businesses say, that's the first thing I'm going to pull from, because it's the easiest thing. So if we as a group can figure out a way to be sustainable where we don't necessarily always have to depend on that, I think will be in our best interest, the long haul. I think I'm running short on time. So the last thing I'll touch on is our current, since our treasurer, we don't have one yet, but our current financial outlook. We currently sit right at, I think, $4,000 in our account. We this year had tiered benefits from the chamber. So those will be trickling in over time. But once everything's there, before we buy our tent, we should be sitting right around $8,000 in our account, which is very healthy for a group that's only been around about 1.5 years, 2 years. So I have to give a huge shout out to the chamber, because a huge portion of that, $5,500 of that, is our tiered benefits. So Catawba, Novant, Atrium, RCCC, F&M Bank, when they choose to be a part of the chamber and to contribute, they chose to put a little bit in our pool because they believe so much in what we're doing. So.
That's great. Yeah, we definitely want to keep things accessible. So making it free, because say you have a young professional who's just out of college, maybe they don't have a job yet, or they're just starting their career, but they want to network and meet people. If they had to pay to come to our events more than just paying for whatever they personally eat or drink, that might prevent them from coming. And you do not have to be a chamber member to come to our events as long as you're in our age group. So great. Well, thank you, Dylan, for that report. As you guys see on the screen, I've pulled up our committee information that's on our website. Just note that the events committee meeting schedule will be changing, and Dylan will be announcing his schedule, and he will be looking to recruit committee members. So stay tuned for that. But next, I'm going to let Michelle Gannon take over. She is the co-chair of the Outreach and Recruitment Committee. So take it away.
All right. Hello, yes, I'm Michelle Gannon. So the Outreach and Recruitment Committee has been kind of guns blazing since we all started meeting. We meet the last Wednesday of every month at 6 o'clock right here at New Serum. So far in our first few months kind of up and running, we've created Pro Pals, which is our new program that we have to kind of help bring new members in, but in a comfortable, easy environment where they're going to be personally matched. And we did go through and like match make them all personally matched with an existing member who might be a little bit more familiar with how the events work, or be able to introduce you to people, just to kind of take away any of those social anxieties, to get more people in. Since the program is launched, we are now, after last night's meeting, working to the next step of this to try and grow it even further, and really strengthen the group, because without new members, we have no place to grow.
That's cute.
Shout out to Sherry and Michelle for doing that Pro Pals program. Personally, I have 2 what is it called? Pals. Pals that have came to events and have kept coming. So that I really do think that really does help.
Yeah, off the bat, we've had probably about an 80% response rate from it. And that even if people haven't been able to meet their Paladin event, they have met either privately or are working on getting to an event, and they're all orchestrating that, but it's really shown great success. So thanks to our committee for showing up and helping and doing all the things.
Do you want to explain it? Like, what is like the experience like? Like you get matched to somebody and then what happens?
Yeah, so after you sign up, you're filling out a questionnaire and we're asking you, do you want morning events, evening events? Because if you're a morning only person, we're not going to pair you with somebody who can only do evenings. We do try and take into account if you have any gender specification that you prefer to be matched, just to keep everybody as comfortable as possible, as well as your likes and interests. So if you're a video gamer, we're gonna put you with somebody else who's a gamer, maybe like reading, we'll try and match you. And we're taking all of your personal interests and connecting you with somebody that has similar interests so that you can form a stronger bond with them. So after you fill out your form, right now I'm checking on about a weekly basis. Your existing member pal is given all of your information and how to contact you, and they will reach out via email or text message. And from there, you guys just kind of connect on your own way. So if you're somebody who prefers to be contacted on Facebook Messenger, you can chat that way, text message, phone call, email, you guys orchestrate all of that. And then a lot of the pals have been meeting up at events, and then through that also introducing like, okay, Brittany's my pal, I'm gonna meet her at the event, but I'm gonna introduce her to Sarah and Nikki Nancy and Dylan, and then it's really further, it's never gonna change, I'm sorry. Further, help everybody feel more comfortable. So there's no, I mean, it's not like a set time requirement. You just you guys work it out in between yourselves, even if it's just chatting and saying, hey, like, do you have any questions about it? Do you know when the next event is? Hey, reminder, this is when the event is. It's not like a lifelong commitment. It's just kind of easing everybody into the group, because I feel like the first time I went, Vincia actually invited me. She wasn't even there. You invited me to my first event and you weren't even there. But for some people that might be scary to show up to a new event and really not know anybody, especially with the size of the group. Look at Sarah Devlin.
Oh, I was so scared. And Molly invited me and I drove by twice before. And I was like, I can't do this. And I was on the phone with my mom and she said, you better get out of that car. And then Molly was so nice to me. And now they're like my best friends. It's true. I needed a pro pal. Molly was the OG pro pal.
Help you show up and just feel comfortable and don't feel like, oh, you're the new person. Because if you're like Sarah Devlin, you assume you walk in the room and the whole room stops to stare at you.
Are we in, so we need not just newcomers to sign up, we
You
also
need
need.
existing members, and existing members is like, maybe you've been to a handful of events, but you know enough people. Like, don't feel like you need to be here for months or years.
Yeah.
As long as you feel like you can comfortably take a new person and bring them into the event and introduce them to a few people, or even just be there for them so that you have each other. That's kind of the difference between existing members and new members. I would say existing, if you've been to like 5 or more events, you're kind of existing. 5 or less would make you a new member. It doesn't mean you've never been to an event, but maybe you've been to an event and you've kind of lurked in the background. Then maybe you need to sign up to be a new member, still lurk. Sign up to be a new member so that you have somebody who's going to kind of push you outside your comfort zone and really get you all the benefits of what these events have.
It's been really nice to see the friendships forming with those pro pals even outside of the group. Like one of my I have 3. And one, which means we need more existing members, please.
Yes, we definitely need more existing members.
So one of my pro pals, we've bonded and we've hung out outside of YP events. It's so you can form that relationship and then take it offline outside of just that controlled environment.
You quit kicking my liquor
I-
cabinet. That's where I hide my bourbon.
Always where I sit.
I will have to edit that out of the recorded. Okay,
I know where it's at.
Michelle, do you have anything else you want to add for your report?
I don't think so. I think we've kind of covered everything. I mean, that's really been our main focus, and it's been a lot of work getting it up and running and a lot of work really diligently and mindfully creating matches. Not that I'm just gonna be like, hey, you guys are together, but you might have literally nothing to talk about. So played matchmaker.
Your committee's been doing a great job and I attended the first meeting where they matched people and the thought that small committee, the amount of thought and energy they put into trying to really think through, oh, would this person be a good match? It just really shows how much you guys care. Your committee's doing a great job. So I really appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you. My committee's the best. Yes.
All right, well, now we're gonna move on to our last committee report and then we'll have time for a Q&A at the end. So Tyler Eagle is our events committee chair, so take it away.
First off, they saved the best for last. So, I'm Tyler Eagle. I'm the events committee chair. I serve, Molly, recruited me to be the events committee chair as well as the some of the former executive committee that's still on the executive committee. I started beginning of this year. Thanks to Molly, she's helped tremendously. Obviously, you can tell that we do a lot of events. We do roughly 50 to 60 a year. So that takes a lot of planning to do. Like we're currently in the Live After 5 series. We extended it an extra week this year. So keep an eye out on social media for those. You'll see all of our events coming up. And then I'm also recruiting some people or anybody willing to join the events committee. There's a few members here in the room and on Zoom. Recruiting, because it does take a lot of time and thought to put into our amazing events that we do. And thankful for the chamber as well to make our events free. We are very fortunate for that. That's basically all I have.
Do you mind if
Yeah.
okay, I just want to.
Molly helps me out tremendously, so.
Training him. We do several different types of events. So if you don't know, our events are not just about going to drink. I just want to be really clear. We do professional development, volunteering and things like that as well. So for example, this Saturday, the Transportation Museum reached out to us and asked for volunteers. So I think there's like 7 or 8 people who are going to be volunteering. We could still use one more. So if anybody wants to volunteer, I think you have to be there at 4:15 and you'll be working till roughly 9 o'clock or so.
They would have them contact us because they're gonna need
Yeah,
to.
I already talked to Elaine.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday. They still need one more person.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, Elaine Holden, with the Transportation Museum. It's very confusing.
I don't do fireworks.
But we're basically planning the kids' activity area, the kids zone. It's just a free event to the public and so the museum doesn't make a lot of money on it. And then there's fireworks that night. So if you get to come, you get a free volunteer t-shirt. They have an extra shirt. I double checked and it's a larger size. So for some people it might be a dress, but that's okay. And then so yeah, that's Saturday if anybody would like to volunteer. And then we also do Development Bites, which is our professional development and leadership series that we do once a month, September through May, with possibly taking December off, depending with the holidays. And then we, once a quarter or 4 times a year, it may not be quarterly, we're gonna do a series called Practical Bites, which is life skills. So we did one already. It's fairly new. We did one where we learned about our cars and how to, what to look for before you go to buy a new car. And we had someone who is a mechanical engineer and has worked in motorsports and stuff like that, who was there to talk to us. It was really interesting, very good content. And then we have Coffee and Conversations, which is once a month, September through May. They have historically been on the 4th Wednesday in the mornings, but we are looking at possibly adding some. Yeah, we might be adding some lunchtime type meetups.
Or even
Coffee and combos.
also Saturday.
Or Saturday, yeah.
Saturday mornings as
Yeah.
well, for those that can't make it during the week and
Yeah,
possibly go on the weekend. Possibly the one on the 2nd and then one on the 4th, just to keep that rotation of meeting new people and growing that friendship. So
so if you want to help on the events committee, there's a lot to do. We are trying to divide and conquer.
it's a lot for one person.
Yeah, and not to mention, we do kickball at least once a year, if not, with this past year, we did 2 kickball seasons, and in the spring, we had 2 teams, so that was a lot to coordinate. And then we do Dragon Boat, which is the biggest event. It's the Chamber's big fundraiser event of the year. So that will be July 27th at High Rock Lake at the Shriners Club. The chamber still needs volunteers, so we would love to have young professionals, if you aren't paddling with us, for you to sign up and volunteer with the chamber that day. And I'll be sure to include that in our next newsletter, which, by the way, we have a newsletter. You can sign up on the website. I send them out usually once a month during the regular season, but some are so busy, so you're getting them like once a week. I'm sorry. But it's all really good, important information. And yeah, sorry, I just had to elaborate.
Molly likes to elaborate more than I do.
It was too big, Tyler. Anyways, we have some flyers here in person, and so this one is about Pro Pals. Then we also have somewhere another flyer. This is just the general flyer about YP. So if you are passionate about helping to promote and grow this program, anytime you need any kind of marketing materials or anything like that, or you want a flyer, or you want to put something up at your place of work or whatever, just hit me up. You can email yp@rowanchamber.com. There's a couple of people that those emails go to, so someone will respond to you. But if you need any of the marketing materials, I have that, and I'm happy to share it if you are willing to help us promote.
Also, if you have any ideas of new places or new events that you would like to see, reach out to the YP address email as well, so to bring in new ideas and thoughts.
All right, so I think that wraps up events. If you don't know, we're on Facebook, Instagram. We have a Facebook group that almost has 1,000 members. So if you're not a part of the group, please join because Dylan really wants us to have 1,000 members.
Only invite 20 people a day.
We have Twitter or X, but if I'm being honest, we don't really use it that much, because nobody around here uses it that much. And we have LinkedIn. So if you're really big on LinkedIn, please go share our content. And then during the summer, we really ramp up our TikTok. That's when we're most active on our TikTok to promote the Live After 5 series. If you're interested in being in any videos or helping with the social media, you can always reach out to me. Sarah did a video yesterday and it was awesome. I don't think she agrees with me, but that's okay. So, but yeah, we want this to be a community. We don't want anybody to look at the executive committee as like the elite group. Oh, I can't be a part of that. I haven't been around for long enough. If you want to get involved, the best way to get involved is join a subcommittee first, one of the 3 committees, and get some experience, see if you like it, and then go from there. They only meet once a month, and sometimes we skip months because we're busy. So, but yeah, we would love for more people to be involved, and we just appreciate you taking the time out of your busy Thursday to spend time with us. Does anybody have any questions?
I just thought I'd add, part of this charter does talk about how you become part of the executive committee. We will be adding new members as we roll over in January and our new calendar year starts. And there will be pathways to apply and to be a part of that. We always bounce that off of our chief here, Elaine Spalding.
We're just here to help and support.
And so we will be consulting her and the whole executive committee will be a part of that, but it is open to all. So be on the lookout.
Any questions on the Zoom or any comments? Anything? Bueller? No? Good? Okay, great. Well, we are going to adjourn our first official all-member meeting. I think we said we're doing these twice a year, right?
Yeah, our next one tentatively will be kind of like a passing of the gavel from Molly to Nikki Nancy.
And just to clarify something else too, we actually are going to retreat twice a year as an executive committee. So keep that in mind if you're interested in applying. It is a big commitment. I mean, we meet once a month, but we talk almost every day.
Yeah, nonstop.
Sometimes you get back
Amazing.
So.
come back to 45.
Some people would look at the executive committee group chat, it's like long, but it's well worth
Sometimes
it.
it is very to business and sometimes it's crocodile Dundee GIFs. So
I want to
depends on my day.
emphasize the group real fast, and not that I'm just trying to get to 1,000 members, but it's so useful for so many different things. Someone was looking for a spay and neuter clinic yesterday. We got her set up with that. For new people in the community, something me and Kyler have started doing is a lot of sporting events with people locally, and that's always posted, hey, we're going to this sporting event in 2 weeks. Who's interested in going? It's not an official YP event, but we took 25-ish people to the UNC Charlotte versus Appalachian outdoor hockey game in uptown Charlotte. It wasn't an official YP trip, but we offered it to YPs. YPs signed up and we took them down to Charlotte for a game. Everyone had to provide their own
Just like
information.
kickball as well. Me and Dylan both coach kickball. And the connection from the kickball team to a young professionals event has grown tremendously. For instance, our Live After 5 promo video for this week was 2 kickball team members. They have grown a connection. they've been on vacation together, so it's Kristen.
There she is.
Kristen and Madison, Rusher, they have grown a connection together in that whole our kickball group chats. And both the new team and the team from last season, both have grown a tremendous friendship, so.
Fun, sports, but also a volunteerism. I mean, we not just
Do it all.
that we are doing with
Helping people
Saturday.
find jobs.
Yeah.
There's people who have posted in the group that they,
Kendall volunteered with me for Earth Day Jam and kicked butt that day. And that was a call to action that we put out on the Facebook group, so. And what, you guys can post on there, like, it doesn't have to just be
Yeah.
us. I know we post a lot. But feel free to post, feel free to ask questions.
Don't try to sell me hair extensions.
Or,
It's-
please, my air ducts are very clean, I promise you.
and the group rules, the Facebook group rules are posted in the group, so you can see what it's okay and not okay to post. The last thing I almost forgot to mention, if you want to be eligible for being nominated for the Young Professional of the Year, we've had it 2 years in a row. Dylan was the recipient last year. And I was very honored to get it the first year. I knew about it, but I didn't know about it.
You weren't supposed to know.
Yeah, well. Anyways, but there's criteria. So to receive this award or be considered, it says you have to be a Rowan Chamber member, which we're gonna talk about that. But the biggest thing is you need to attend.
It's awarded at the Chamber's annual. meeting.
Yes. But, you need to attend 80% of the events. Now,
At least.
when we say we do 50 events a year, we're counting a lot of the stuff we do with kickball and stuff like that too. But in terms of events, we more mean our regular season type of events. So, the more you show up, the more likely you are to be recognized. And then, if you donate your time and or resources, so, if you want to volunteer for things, or if you want to be on a committee, or maybe there's a special project and you just want to help with that one special project and then come to events. This is possible. It's not just limited to, a few select people. And so what time of year, Elaine, do you guys call
January.
out? January.
The Chamber's 99th annual meeting will actually be January 20, what did we talk about with Kristen?
I cannot remember.
26, something
Okay.
like that.
But when
It'll
do you
be-
put out the?
For my
call for
birthday,
nominations?
thank you for a birthday party, Elaine, I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
When do you put out the call for nominations?
October timeframe.
Yeah, so be on the lookout in October. You could ask a colleague to nominate you, or a friend, or, express to somebody, your employer. But I just want to make sure you guys know about this. It's a tremendous honor. Super, super grateful to have been the recipient. I'm sure Dylan is too. And it's just a way to kind of elevate, your presence in the community and get recognition for all the work with YP that you're doing. So. All right, on that note, I think we're ready to call the meeting adjourned. Okay, great. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Please come to Live After 5 tonight. We're gonna be right there at New Sarum. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Tyler said he'd buy everybody's first.
Bye, everybody say bye to the Zoomies.
Bye, Zane.
Bye.